Rat, why did you send a GIF of somebody shooting a hamster out of a paper tube?
That's the first thing they're recording here, is just so you know. Immediately. That's it. Did I put a... Oh, I should put a...
Everybody's complaining about my pronunciation of GIF. That's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Who cares? Just say what you want. Oh, I think you're actually coming in double. Hold on. Okay. You are no longer coming in double. Can you, like, count to 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm gonna make you quieter. I'm balancing levels. Alright, who's ready to learn, guys? Who's ready to learn? Alright, let's share my screen. This is a kindergarten classroom, that's correct. We're going to be learning your ABCs. I had no idea what to put though on the title slide, so it's the Greater Pandorica, which doesn't really mean anything. This does have boobs. My goodness. Really low res painted boobs. This is a painting of the Anima Mundi, by the way. That's what this is. Alright, taking questions for the next 30 minutes. Why did that not work? Oh. Alright, this is what this presentation isn't about. This is not a retcon for Vintage Stories lore. This is not a denouncement of any server faction's beliefs. This is not a confirmation of a true god of Pandorica, the server. And this is not a guideline on how player-made religions should look, act, or function. And this is not about game mechanics. This should be very clear. I will fucking kill you. You have a question about humans already? We'll get to that. That's like at the end. This is presentations about the universal forces of the world, which basically means expect pseudoscience talk and nonsense. We're trying to inspire players to invent your own religions. We're kind of giving you a framework. Telling you about the inspiration of Pandorica's lore, how I came up with it, how the artifact works. Thankfully, I wrote all the things about how artifacts and the occult rituals work out already. So when we get to those, it just actually looks like a school PowerPoint presentation. Red, you can just, like, come up here. Don't say anything because you are being recorded. Like, don't say anything weird.
Genuinely, I could not figure out how to get in here.
You click on the button.
You're not a mod. You're not being able to speak.
Oh, I own the server.
Yeah, just so you know, Red.
Who says
Yeah.
that?
No. And we're also going to be talking about how Anima works. So let's start with the beginning of cosmogony. That basically means how the universe started. Cosmogenesis is very similar, but it's not the exact same thing. Cosmogenesis... Okay. That was really loud.
Wow, that was damn. That was savage.
Red, if you, could you mute when you're not talking?
Huh? Oh,
Red,
sorry.
can you mute when not talking, please? Thank you. I'm having a presentation. I am I'm performing here. Anyways, cosmogenesis is about the scientific method of not the scientific theory of how the universe formed. The Big Bang is a type of cosmogenesis. Cosmogony is basically when we just make shit up. We're just making shit up. It's like, okay, and then the lion eats the sun, and that's why night happens. And there's also a dome in the sky, and we're on a flat planet. We're going to talk about the Anima Mundi as well. So basically, this is a painting of the representation of the Anima Mundi. It has layers. These are all called spheres. And they are all the building blocks of the universe, basically. But the world soul, or the Anima Mundi, is a theory of the world itself is animated with a soul, much like the human body, and the world's alive. Hell is alive, and it hungers. It's hungry. All living things are intrinsically connected to each other. You could also, this could be considered the center of the world. Write that, that'll be on the test. Any questions? What's your question? Do the circles? I'm not doing the circles. Do the circles have importance? They this is basically representation of the planet. So, you know, we have Earth. We have the different elements, spheres of, this is all in Italian, I believe. Yeah, it is. Like the layers of the atmosphere, effectively, out here. It is effectively a representation. Okay, I'm not a scholar here, but it's a representation of the world. You can look into this a lot, and there's a lot to cover about the Anima Mundi and what this single picture entails. Yes, the soul can rot. If you,
That's why you get sent to hell.
no, when your soul rots, you're fucking gone, dude. You're gone. You're gone. You're a goner. Alright, so these are the universal forces. We're gonna move out. These are the universal forces. The circles? What do you mean? In-game rituals? We'll get to the rituals at the end. We gotta know about the prerequisites to get to the rituals. Rituals are like in the last 80% of this presentation. I mean, I'm not a professor. Anyways, yeah, these are the universal forces. So we have the force of space, which is basically just matter, the distance between matter and gravity. And then we have the force of life, which is a little misleading. You don't technically need to be alive to have life in you. So it represents the essence of complexity, which includes cellular biology and mechanical gears, and hypothetically would include your computer. It is also the origin of will. Will. There's also time, which is, I'm pretty sure you're all pretty familiar with that, being, you know, vintage story. It is the essence of change, a universal constant, asterisks when you're not messing around with time, obviously. And, of course, temporality as an essence as well. Then you have the greatest of all forces, which is will, not Smith. But will is from life. So this is correct, actually. Life is the origin of Will Smith. But it is the force of will is the emergent force of life, and is the origin of anima. I think Minos Prime is a good representation. He had such a strong willpower that he persisted after death and became a prime soul. And also you have the essence of light, or the universal force of light, which is effectively heat, energy, sound, and the origin of instability. Is that wide Minos Prime? So anima is the force that drives all living things. It is also called the soul, nature, and sometimes anima. This is a quote from George Ernst. Anima, the soul, functions with a natural reason, which is the ratio, in concert with logical, critical reasoning, ratio consatio. The rational soul performed natural person of anima was source of remarkable self-healing. Blah, blah, blah. Basically means soul, if good, healthy. Soul of bad, rot.
Basically the Force from Star Wars.
Dirty, rotten souls go to the pits of fire.
They go in the sludge pit where all people belong. Oh, isn't life an extension of will? No, will is an extension of life. Because you cannot have a will, you can't have willpower without something complex enough to have a willpower.
So where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, that would make sense. A will is a way. If there's Will Smith, there is way powder around. That was really bad. Hermeticism. So Hermeticism is basically pseudoscience nonsense, which believes in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Yeah, he's activated his nos. I can't believe I even found this picture on the internet. Hold on. Yeah, let me double check. Hermeticism is a really big topic to cover in this. I need to actually get notes. So, Hermeticism... Oh, I'm on the wrong page. This is the Corpus Hermeticism. Where's my... Found it. Okay. If Hermeticism is a type of philosophy and religious practice, based in Hermes Trismegistus, which he made the Emerald Tablets, supposedly. Yeah. I'm skimming my notes again. Alright, so Hermeticism originated with, Egypt. That's why it's the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Where, this is the Emerald Tablet, which, if you ever heard the phrase above, so below, that's where this comes from. We also don't know what the Emerald Tablet actually said. We only have 3 translations. Why you ask me to go back to... We're not going back to Will Smith. I believe the Hermes... Are you talking about the bird of Hermes bird is also a type of philosopher's stone. We're trying to talk about that. But this is what I believe is one of the main agreed upon translations of what the Emerald Tablet says, but we had 3 translations in Arabic, 3 quote original ones, and you can read up all. They differ as well. You'd have to read each one, but this is the one that I'm going with from Jabir Ibn Hayyan. I hope I didn't butcher that really badly. This basically is the secret of the universe, as what it's supposed to be. And you may notice that emerald is a pretty green stone, which is it's why I have these things called the jade tablets in Pandorica. And jade functions as an anima conductor, and it's able to absorb, redirect, and hold anima for a millennia or more. Yes, jade can do artifact shit. It's actually exceptional at that. But you got to be careful with it, because while it can hold it for a millennia, it doesn't mean it has an infinite capacity. And you may result in some devastation. There will be devastation if you fuck up. Devastation is basically the result of excessive temporal tampering, which is pretty obvious if you did any of the story in Vintage Story. The tower with the lens, the Sun Rift experiment, and the obelisk, which I will not elaborate what the obelisk is. Also, the green comet, the fart cloud, if you were around for that, the fart cloud event, where I experimented with fog and had a thing fall from the sky. It doesn't work like radiation. Anima works like a type of... It is a type of matter in very vague sense. Anima can be in many different forces, or no, it can be in many states of matter. Yeah, the meteor that crashed down had jade in it. It was the jade tablets, which was the second, or it was most of the high ones tablets. Yes, you need to be careful with it, because it can hold it for a long time, but if it leaks, it can cause devastation. In the meteor that fell, yeah, it still has anima. That's why the jade tablets themselves don't get destroyed by the devastation. There's going to be some good examples of jade and how it interacts with devastation in the obelisk quest line, which I'm working on. I have a lot of cool shit planned for that one. If we are immune to anima, can we flood the world to cleanse the humans the rot left behind?
Why are we wanting to cleanse the humans?
Why do you want to create Wind Waker?
Why are we getting rid of the humans?
You just don't like them, I guess.
I mean, that would be a very interesting story beat we could play on later.
Yes, let me world edit with a brush stroke size of 10 bajillion.
Get rid of all the traitors. All of the players who are humans.
Oh, wait. What would we classify as human then? Because we have different races.
For player races, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's really hard to tell.
I only know of one player that is a human. Oh, fair. Jasoli is also a human, so that's 2 players that are humans.
Maybe we should make like roles for like the different races,
I think we
like the
should.
known races,
Yeah.
like the known races.
The thing is, how we
I'll get on
have
that
it is don't worry about that right now. We'll do some else. But the thing with the
eventually.
races is, since the system of races that I like about the server. Oh shit, we're talking about fucking game mechanics. God damn it. I'm gonna talk about it anyways.
We are the kings here. You are the watchers.
The system that we have for races is we don't have a list of races. We just have a very robust character editor is what I plan on
Yeah.
doing. I actually have a few ideas to enhance the character editor without mouths and noses. I think would be pretty good next step.
Right.
Give yourself like the :3 face.
Oh, for the robots.
I for any race.
Jesus Christ.
Just robots can be :3.
Oh no! Frankly, I'm not gonna lie. I zoned out for like a second. I'm doing like 4 different things.
Oh
Right
yeah, the tower, the
Okay.
Tower of Babel doesn't cause devastation because you haven't done anything with it yet. It's just a building. What I'm saying about the tower in like italics here is the tower with the lens, like that one.
Jonas's tower.
That's actually Tobias' tower.
Well,
Jonas is
Oh.
fucking gone, dude.
Jonas created
Some-
the original
some-
tower.
sketchy, crazy old man.
I think Jonas built a hole in the ground, put a bunch of people in it. Anyways, yeah, you may have seen a book about the High One. He's a pretty cool guy. You should read his book about his complaints.
Shadow Money Wizard Gang? Shadow Wizard Money Gang?
Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
We love casting spells.
I don't know why I even put this as a topic of the High One. I have like 2 points about him. And he's like a leader of a group. And he's what was it? So Jonas was an empiricist because that's just the era. Fuck. He believes in Anima Mundi. That's all that's important. So we're gonna go into the artifacts now, which is actual fleshed out slides here. This is basically this is just rehashing the actual info I've written down prior. It's any artifact is an object of cultural, personal, or spiritual significance given life through the infusion of anima, either natural means or artificial injections. Artifacts function on a grading system just for convenience. They go from antique, vintage, anomalous, legend, and temporal. Artifact directly correlates to how much it can affect the world around it. So we're gonna go through each grade. Antique grade can be pretty much almost anything. It's very low bar for our antique. It can be literally go back. Fine. What? Oh yeah, the fancy splitter plugs. I'm gonna like give you this
one
slideshow.
slide before?
It's good. Yeah, write this down. Write this down.
2 points.
Write this down. Write this down. Yeah, actually, Ferris is actually writing down the each pixel's color of this slide.
Each hex code and RGB value.
You're putting a meta in. You're putting out of world like a lecture in game. It's kind of funny.
Oh, sorry.
Jasoli was just visited by God. and told all of this.
It was told to me in a dream. A dream!
Why are you kind of Irish?
Oh, it's a little dream, don't you know? That's Scottish, that's not Irish.
That's very Scottish, yeah.
Yeah, it's the, I have to think about what grade. It'd have to be vintage to anomalous. Those splitter plugs. It would probably be teetering on anomalous, maybe. You did die after making them from alcohol poisoning. So you did like spill your blood, your fucking dead bodies all over it. The alcohol was so you couldn't consciously swing the hammer. The tower is ungraded because it's a building. Anyway, antique grade. It's gonna be anything. It can be town statues or old furniture. It can be a mouse pad it can be a boob mouse pad that you have worn down and has just the pure fabric on it now. That is antique grade. It gets more fun when you have vintage grade, though. An artifact which is very old or has been influenced by players around it. A sword of a king or veteran soldier that's been repaired a dozen times can easily reach this quality. Usually come from unique features. Like they come with a unique feature. Overused grade. Yeah, they can affect basically a single individual at a time or a small region of space to a limited capacity. The grades basically dictate the range of an effect. And then we get to some cool shit when they get to temporal grade and legend grade. Anomalous grade is most known for ritualistic sacrifice because it's very easy to get there with ritualistic sacrifice. So if you were a Mayan and you had this really sharp obsidian knife and you killed like 100 people with it, you would have a very violent knife. Might speak to you. I think the people in Blackwater have an anomalous grade artifact in their house and they don't know it, which is really funny. It started like communicating with them too. I don't know if anybody in here is from that group. They're like kind of south of the northern people. What are you? Ah, yes, as solid antique socks. I see. Huh, curious. Must be infused with a lot of anima, huh? There's a lot of lives lost into that sock, I bet.
Yeah, it's got a lot of life in that.
A lot of little homunculi have been perished in that sock. Alright, we're going to get into something extra exciting as legendary grade. These are objects that have been imbued with the emotions, attention, hope, and or despair of hundreds to thousands of people. Store locations could easily be a source of this grade. I just copy pasted this, but I don't care about spoiling it. The Errol, that is a legendary artifact itself. Errol is the Mad Crow. Also, what's it's just the Eidolon. I guess that would count each one after the temporal incident, I guess. It's also really important that you destroy them if they're already dangerous, because typically legendary quality is preceded by temporal quality, which is really hard to get rid of. In fact, it's impossible. The main part of temporal artifacts is they're indestructible. They've been infused with so much energy so much anima is like circulating in it that it basically creates a time loop where it cannot be destroyed. The lens counts technically.
Would Dave count as temporal grade?
I don't know. I think the Vintage Story devs have plans for Dave. You know, the lens was the reason that entire region around the tower got so fucked up. Literally, it was because of the lens.
Dave is classified as like a super mech in the game files, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'd seen something like that. It's under super mechs with an S.
To my knowledge, Dave was never confirmed to be a machine or an organism. He's just kind of there, or at least a construct.
You're talking about using the lens to focus anima. Yes, that is what it does. That was what it was meant to do, effectively. Actually, it was meant to peer into the other world. But you could also use it as a focusing point. Very volatile focusing point. What if it's like, what if I focus everything into a singular point? You know, there's a plot in JoJo about that. It's a plot in JoJo about that. I think we had him on a slide earlier. The rot also is considered a temporal grade artifact. It's described like a force of nature. But then again, when something is so unfathomably strong that you just can't do anything against it, it is a force of nature. And then you get the force to nature, where you get two of them glued together. End to end. I think so. I have yeah. We have a few other examples from in the compendium, the artifact compendium. We haven't really done a lot there. The temporal box. Ooh, mystery what that is. It's temporal grade. The Rotless Crown is temporal grade. The Rotless Crown was actually how this entire artifact system even got started. I was like, I wrote something cool and like, let's do some cool shit. Is Scout from TF2 a temporal artifact? Of course he is. He was like, he died and like God sent him back. That's like immediately. Dude saw real God, capital G God. If there's like a grade above temporal, it's like TF2 Scout grade.
Yeah, TF2 Scout. I mean, any kid from Boston that can go hand to hand with just a baseball bat against a 6'2" bulk of a man from Russia, he's got to be greater than temporal grade.
Yeah, he just like smashes Dave into pieces. So we're gonna talk about the occult now. You should probably recognize this one. This is pretty popular symbol. Let me see if I can pull up the legit name of this one. That's not the Full Metal Alchemist name. Okay, this takes more than 6 seconds of Google searching.
I trust you're all taking notes on this.
Well, yeah, the occult system is basically how I want to interact with the players, with admins. Fuck, it's game mechanics. Gotta talk about game mechanics. How dare you make me talk about game mechanics?
Also, to be fair, Heavy is like 6'8".
T42 heavy weapon guy. Oh yeah, I wanted to also talk about the other types of anima that you've been using in the Midnight Order. I'll get to that in a bit.
Wait, where'd they get that lava from?
I think it was who gave them the lava?
Oh.
I don't remember who it was. It's right, you did. Doesn't even remember.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's right,
how'd you
I
get
did.
that lava? It's you. Dementia.
Fuck. Sorry.
All right, so the rituals in general revolve around the aspect of releasing, containing, confusing, or otherwise manipulating anima in a very specific way. That's why it uses a bunch of temporal gears a lot of the time, or blood, or other similar factors.
Would brain matter count as anima?
The thing
Like, say
is,
you
are we
crack
going
walls,
off? If we're going off of like Egyptian biology, quote unquote. I don't know. No? Question mark. I think the heart would have all your anima. If we're going off Egypt rules.
Well, fair enough.
Your brain actually is the thing that makes all your snot. We're gonna, when you die, we're gonna scoop it all out through your nose.
Because I feel like there's quite a few skull crackers on the server that'd be like, yes, Mace turned into relic. Because I cracked some of the heads. Or, a hammer. Organ harp. Oh, no.
I love my organ harvesting.
Not Rimworld. Get that out of here.
We love rimming in this household. Professional rimmers only.
Excuse me?
Professionals.
What?
Professional rimmers, you know?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I got 4.2 thousand hours in Rimworld.
No
That is-
shot you have that many hours in RimWorld.
That's a number.
Of course I have that many hours. I have 4.2 thousand hours in Rimworld.
That
Of course you do.
that makes
This
sense.
is why you have such good
This is why he likes.
That's why I
trains.
have morals. That's why I have...
pseudo-religion making.
Yeah, because
Did your mom take
nuts.
Tylenol before you were born, my guy?
No, but I was born with half a
'Cause you
liver.
You've spent
It grew back.
$250 on all of the RimWorld DLC.
Yes. Over the course of like 6 years. Yeah, so I'm looking at the post I made in the FAQ, the Artifact Compendium, about rituals. It's the releasing of anima is basically from the temporal gears. That's like the catalyst. It's very easy to overdo it. I'm pretty sure Rapoxia, I'm pretty sure you overdid it and you released quite a handful of anima for like no reason into the air. Surely this
Okay.
will not be a problem later.
Definitely not. So what if like say like a blacksmith uses temporal gears to fortify his tools and weapons, and like the things he
Anima can
makes.
also-
It will do nothing
Taken
because
out of-
you're not a
Really?
mystic.
Fair enough.
Anima can also be taken out of other players, though, right?
Yes, very difficultly. It doesn't work on seraphs actually. You can't like remove
So you
it all.
can't. So you can't just take a temporal gear, stick it on a sword, and smack it with a hammer.
No, you have to. It's a
Ah,
mystic.
sucks.
Mystics are required for all rituals. They just know it all.
Okay, what if there's a mystic sitting in the forge?
You'd basically be needing to turn the forge into a ritual room itself, and would be subject to all the ritual shenanigans.
Interesting.
That's what the people in Midnight Order basically did.
All right, blacksmiths, have fun with that. You're welcome. Yes, punch mystics. Mystics are nerds. They deserve to get hit with the hammer fist.
Beat them up and make them make paper for you.
God, I need to do that. That's on my to-do list of getting
Look, I'm glad I have something that I'm good for aside from making paper.
What's
How
my
do you get
job?
mystic?
You make paper and call admins to do rituals.
Oh, imagine if that's the only way to get in contact with like an admin. Like if we just hit, if we
you
just
can't
hit
even
the,
you can't even report people. Use the contact of Mystic,
if we
and they
hit
do
the
a moderate. They do a Discord reporting ritual.
What is my purpose? You make paper. Out of your mystic.
Oh yeah. Let's move on to
Oh,
ritual
you should-
factors because that's pretty important. These are all listed.
Soli does have a question about the Jade Meteor.
The Jade Meteor. What about it?
If it's possible to extract anima from it.
Not really. It's kind of all spilled out, and it's caused the devastation. Very unsalvageable. It'd be very hard to get it.
About something.
Well, that's for them to have fun with.
Yeah.
So Jade,
So with
killing demons, and I'm doing my talking points. Jade, killing demons, rose quartz crystals, and humanoid statues specifically are animus factors, which attribute to the anima factor of a ritual. And then Jasper, killing animals or players, Melibdachakos, metal, abstractive statues, and Swaylight are instability factors, which function as a counterbalance to animus factors. I didn't do enough research into Jade to answer that question, Dax. Isn't it a sedimentary rock?
It's a gem.
It's not a gem. It's a big-ass rock type. It's a stone. It's a rock, motherfucker. It's a rock.
Rock and stone! But I feel like if we were to tie it into the lore of the game, is just that with the way that seraphs kind of work, they've been trapped. They were put outside of time for so long. They kind of just naturally absorbed an absolute shit ton of anima.
Yes.
It just kind of happened. Paint me what? Paint it red. Oh.
Paint it red, go faster. We're gonna paint a kid named Red.
Please don't. That was my bully's job.
Jade is a metamorphic rock.
Huh,
No.
I guess that makes sense.
Get nuts
It's
in
got,
there.
it forms from crystals.
Also, another
Okay,
thing
well,
about
really
ritual rooms for animus factors is spiraling and swirling chisel patterns are a great way to enhance it. Because anima is the soul, which flows in a way. Yeah, Gurren Lagann, it's the spiral. Not like full drill spiral, but you get the point.
Tax had a question about being in an animal-rich area.
Basically, just make your patterns flowy.
I'm thinking about animal-rich area. The thing is, if you're a seraph, or actually you're a robot, so you would be under different rules. You can't really infuse more anima into a seraph because it's like cells where they have a certain balance of like moisture or something. I can't remember off the top of my head.
You could argue that the robots like run off the stuff.
Well, we're gonna get to that. They don't run off anima.
And where do the undead kind of?
We're gonna put, there's a slide for just the races at the end.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
Artificially saturate a soul with anima. By a soul, do you mean a player's soul or an animal's soul? It's very vague.
Magic, you take that back.
I think if you try to if you try and infuse too much anima into like a single person, I think they just kind of explode.
That would be kind of funny.
They explode and you just make a miniature devastation in the room. You just paint the whole floor brown.
It's like overcharging a phone battery. If you overcharge it too much, it just fucking explodes.
Oh, like those Android batteries 5 years ago?
I thought that was just the lithium being punctured. I don't know.
I don't know.
A few other things also about animus factors is the thing with the humanoid statues. It is important that they're humanoid because that embodies the soul. And abstract statues, in contrast, are the opposite, where they do not embody the soul at all. A sword kills people. That's pretty jagged. That's not the reasoning why it does it, but that's a analogy. Basically, spilling blood can also be an instability factor. Anything relating to violence and aggression is an inherently unstable factor. Animatronics. I think we literally have any question you could ask about animatronics, anima-tronics, is already answered in Five Nights at Freddy's. I think any possible question you could come up with is already answered there, and it's sort of translatable.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean,
Guys, just Seraph.
Kind of, yeah. With
the
remnants,
whole reason the animatronics are evil is because they have souls trapped within them. They're literally a vessel for remnant, which is essentially anima.
I went ahead in the slide. I don't have the slide for this.
That information just kind of came out of fucking nowhere with that series. Like, it was like, yeah, there's souls in the thing, and that, you know, fucking remnant. There you go.
Yeah. Anyways, I wanted to talk about some of the rituals, like the ritual of temporal stability, where you basically are offsetting the instability in the region by overdosing it on anima, which you can really mess that up if you don't actually offset something. You just overcharge it and you cause a resonance cascade. That would have been a good picture for this, a resonance cascade. Doing a instability, a temporal stability ritual when there's no reason to. You just cause a resonance cascade. The Combine invasion appears. You're just like chilling in your town, and then this Strider appears and blows up the tower. 7 hours. You can do a ritual yourself under a rival settlement. That's totally fine. There's also the ritual of suppression I want to bring up. That's a newer one. The ritual of suppression is to suppress things, like aggressive artifacts. Doesn't really work on people. You could just kill them. It'd be easier. The suppression is more useful for things you want to keep around, but don't want them getting out of control. You basically are putting a bunch of anima. Wait. So there's a bunch of anima in artifacts. That's what I meant to say. There's a bunch of artifact anima in them. And the ritual of suppression is basically the reverse of the stability ritual. You're overdosing it on instability by silencing a living being with the mass of a goat or larger. And the amount of blood you use also satisfies it, in quotes, so it doesn't do stuff that you don't like for like a month or several months. What? I'm just reading
So in other
chat now.
words,
What the fuck?
we're temporarily lobotomizing it.
More like giving it a injection of heroin, and it's like, oh, I'm having a great time. You could totally embed the Tower of Jade. That'd be really cool looking. It's also pretty rock as well.
I mean, if you
Would you
Alright,
need to
well,
let a ton of stone disappear?
a lot of people haven't seen the pagoda, but most of the floors of the pagoda on Skeleton Island are made of
Named
jade.
items you find in the world. What do you mean? They can be, yes, but not all of them, obviously. Like randomly generated loot that has names. I'm like, meh. I'm probably not gonna care too much. The whole point of artifacts is they're player made, so I probably wouldn't give much attention to non-player made things unless you give it like a personal story of your own. The whole point of artifacts is to promote personal storytelling, where you have your like a part of you is always around. Pull a bunch of anima in a hole in the ground. You have a hole with a bunch of anima in it. That's what you would get. And then it would leach like a landfill into the surrounding ecosystem and probably cause some horrible thing to happen. It's like a landfill. You got to put like a bottom dome of jade and you put it over. Anyways, about races. So this is pretty short. You know, robots run on blood. Humans run on skeletons. Skeletons run on the occult. And seraphs run on anima. Yes, hell is full. The dwarfs aren't here because I didn't know we had dwarfs in the game. I haven't met any dwarfs. My bad.
What about goblins?
No, that's just kind of like a short person. Goblin erasure.
Goblin erasure yet again.
We're doing goblin erasure. Yes, yes, apparently.
I think
Well,
goblins and
liches run
sheeple-
on the occult too, because you're basically a skeleton.
I think goblins and sheeple also run on anima.
Most things run on anima. Obviously, humans run on. They run on the inherent force of life, basically, which is complexity. Their cells, biology. This is kind of just a joke. Humans run on. I mean, they do run on skeletons. That is true.
Skeletons do make up the backbones of humans.
This is a fact. This is the end of it. I don't have anything else. Yeah. Oh yeah, Will. Don't forget source of Will.
Not the guy who slapped Chris Rock on stage.
Yeah, it's God said rewind time. Oh right, the different types of anima. Glad you reminded me because I completely forgot. Or just put this is the anima slide. All right, so the different types of anima. Anima is a very malleable source. You can put it in a jar, but you have to keep it sealed. It's most stably contained in jade itself. So a glass container actually won't contain it at all and it'll just slowly evaporate. The different types of anima, what was it? I can't remember what they were. I don't think it was written down anywhere. It probably was, but I can't find it. I know there's cursed, and that's the only one I remember. Okay, yeah, space lifetime. I guess also it's any of these. If you use Anima with a certain amount of this. I did a little bit of correction just to clean things up, to lock things in. So I don't know what to do with cursed that you have thought up. It doesn't really translate into making it into will, because that's kind of not at all what that is. It would kind of be a tertiary mix of light and time, I think, because its instability is basically curse. Curse is basically mixing an instability amount into Anima without it annihilating each other. Yep.
So if I use enough will anima, could I technically rewind time?
Like the YouTube video? Like Will Smith energy? Like rewind time? Is that what you're saying? Because if you had that much Will Smith, I think you're doing something really bad. How'd you get that many of him?
Also, can we see the first couple slides again? I think some people need to get some information off the first couple.
Okay. Anima Mundi, the world soul, also the center of the world. Cosmogony, not cosmology. Sorry. These are just the first slide.
I fucking hate you.
I fucking die. Yeah, but you can mix Anima. You can force it into a liquid, sort of how you can make amalgams with mercury and gold. It'll mix with anything. It is a very volatile, in quotes, material. It also means that it's really hard to contain outside of Jade, because it likes to float around and evaporate. It's like having just open gasoline on your floor. It's just going to evaporate and kill you with toxic fumes. Very flammable toxic fumes. Jasper is a repulsor. It is basically the opposite of Jade. But you can do some real... It's like a magnet. It's like a polarized magnet. It'll repel it. The artifact that Blackwater has is a Jade and Jasper artifact. Oh wait, does the density of material matter? Like, will a lead cup leak Anima slower than a copper cup? Yes. Mass does play a role. It is not quite like radiation, but it can function a little bit like it. It is very... It can flow through pretty much anything. But for some reason... Yeah, there's very interesting overlaps. Jade, for some mysterious reason, acts as an Anima superconductor.
Does that mean that a tall seraph, like a larger seraph, have more anima than a small seraph?
They're just less dense. They're just bigger.
Oh, oh, Gisoli, you guys are just gonna be fucking repulsing all of the all of the anima.
Yeah, micro Seraph that microdoses on Jasper is like, what would that be like? That'd be like eating lead paint. It's just slowly replacing your calcium in your bones with lead. Yeah, Jade with Jasper Outer is literally what the artifact is that Blackwater has. And it speaks in Attic Greek. It actually, I like occasionally I slip in when they're not talking or they're not around it, and I change the description of it so it like says something different. It's started demanding things.
I wonder if they ever look at it and are like, "What the hell?"
They definitely noticed how it froze the room that was in. It said, "I'm cold." It freezes the room it's inside.
Yeah, I don't think.
Nobody
I
knows
don't
what
think
Blackwater
Jade
is.
Jasper piping would be cool, because I mean you're kind of trapping Jade in its exact opposite.
Yeah, it would be really hard to make a Jasper Jade pipe flow the way you want it to. There's sort of a Jade Jasper pipe is sort of has a parallel to a particle accelerator, kind of. Not very
Except it's
useful.
completely uncontained.
Yes. So the moment it has a hole, it just shoots everything out all at once. Not very
Just
useful.
completely annihilates the area.
Laser cannon. Yeah, if it's a laser cannon, if it immediately exploded the second it exits the barrel.
It's like creating antimatter.
You would think it would have a lot of speed, but it actually doesn't.
As soon as it exits the pipe, it just destroys the entire area surrounding the exact point where it exits the pipe.
Also, how the hell would you get the anima inside it?
Yes, you're essentially creating an antimatter bomb.
Yep. Sure, it would be pretty destructive if you got enough anima in there, but like, how the hell are you gonna? Without it leaving immediately.
Because if Jade acts like a battery, right? As soon as you start chiseling it, it's going to be like breaking bits of that battery off. Anything that was stored in that battery is now gone. It's not part of the battery anymore.
Yep. Anything stored in the bit you chiseled off is also, removed. This would be a very complicated mechanism.
It would be. Adding Jade to things does add the potential to store anima into it, but only proportional
Also,
to the
you
amount
have a
of Jade
very,
that's in
very
that thing.
dangerous possibility that you make the pipe sentient, and then it doesn't feel like listening to you. Also, very possible issue. So that's literally basically what happened with that artifact.
Yeah, I mean, sentient plumbing is literally in Blackwater.
What? I mean, it's not a pipe. It's a microcosm, basically. It's what it is.
It's still sentient, and it's not very happy.
It's cold. It wants to be warmed up. The idea is I went to a group that I didn't know if they had a very clear idea of what they want to do with their culture. So I'm like, you know what if I just give them something to base their culture around? I'm going to give them this mysterious artifact that talks to them and demands things.
Yes, just so
And then also
probably
mysteriously,
too much
and
anima
also
will
mysteriously,
cause
it is the most
damage.
beautiful thing you've ever seen, and you want to hold it and keep it safe. All right, did I forget to mention that it has psychic effects and can manipulate your mind? Slight problem with that. Imagine you make a pipe that's sentient and can manipulate your mind to like it.
We
That
have
not good
a
combo. Yes, it's a remote golden cube, so it's inspired off that.
we have a server full of psychopaths, apparently.
Psychic drone high. Pleasure pulse. if you please the pipe enough, it makes you cum your brains out. But anima flux in your blood is a robot. That is a curious idea.
Glacier, come on, man.
Putting anima flux in your blood as a robot. I don't know if it would do anything because you technically run on the blood that has anima in it already from another organism. I think you just get like the robot equivalent of fat or high blood pressure? I don't know. Oh, Oddity's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Where'd he go? He got obliterated. He's had enough tomfoolery. It's like you get the robot equivalent of high blood pressure by pumping anima flux into your robot blood. How can you add more devastation on the first devastation? It's already devastated. Oh, the FNAF 2 movie later. Oh yeah, my cousin's working on the third one right now. I think we are pretty much done with this. Any other important things you want to actually talk about? We started getting into unimportant small talk. I'm gonna give you guys this presentation. You can just use it. Also the recording. I don't know where I'm gonna put this recording. Yeah, I hope you got all you guys got great ideas. Go fool around. Do some human transmutation. Eat 1,000 pounds of sand, hoping the 1,001st pound will give you immortality. Okay, wait. Oh, wait. How much blood would have to be in a single place to form sentience? And if sentience forms you a lot of anima, how much anima-rich blood would you need? That is a really hard question to answer because of what even is sentience. We need to define sentience, which is a really hard thing to do. How can you actually prove it's sentient? There can be a hard line of when it starts thinking and acting. That's not determined yet. Hypothetical sentient pipe. The Suavite. The reason Suavite causes instability is because it's from space. That's it. It's from space. Meteoric iron and seal don't have the same issue because they're refined. Is there anima in space? Not a lot. Not a lot. There's not a lot of living things in space. Obsidian. I don't think I have anything to do with obsidian because I didn't like the idea of having to build a lot of obsidian things. Obsidian can just be used for decorative purposes. It's used on the jade tablets because it's pretty. Yeah, you can come up with theories of why Suavite is unstable, inherently unstable, because it was from space. What? The worlds live? There should be unlimited animal. Oh, barren soil? Leeches. Are you talking about Steven Universe now? Is that the parallel we're talking about? Let's go to a more visually interesting slide. Let's go back to the cool guy. I still want it to be white text. It's lame looking for a presentation. Alright, we'll be a cool guy for a while. The high one is a plot point. You'll get to know more about him later. And his organization that he made. I guess it's really in the past. I guess also, I didn't really talk about the inspiration for a lot of these things in these systems. You can kind of see a bit of it. The emerald tablets with Herbenicism and its very esoteric kind of approach to reality and alchemy. There's also a lot of Noita things. Emerald tablets, also a Noita thing. They use that a lot. It's my favorite tool. That's what the Jade tablets are basically based off of. That's why that's where I got the idea to anoint the head. You're talking about Steven Universe, I think, in chat. Also, the original Finnish epic. I can't remember. It's hard to pronounce. Let's see if I can even pronounce it. It's the Kalevala. Kalevala? It's Finnish, sorry. But yeah, it's on my to-read list. You can DM me any ideas you want, and I will look at them, and I will say, wow, cool. We live on a world presumably in a solar system, given that we have sun and moon. If the Earth is alive and provides anima, other stellar bodies, hence there ought to be unlimited. I think you are misinterpreting how this looks. we're special because we have God, basically. That's what the this is based off of, I believe. We're special. In this full painting, you can see this photo, or this woman. Don't know what it was supposed to represent. I think it might represent Mother Nature. You can see us, the apes, and not pictured is the Heavenly Father above, chanting both. I mean, yeah, planets and stars exist, but there's no life on them. I wouldn't say the stars are evil. I wouldn't say the stars are wrong, but... they cause instability for the mere reason that they just lack anima. Wait, let me... Yeah, light especially is the origin of instability. It's basically heat, energy, and excitement. If you get a little too excited, you're being a little unstable. Go take a nap. How long has this been going for? Oh, we've been going for like an hour and 15. The recording's an hour 15. Excuse me. Yeah, I think we're winding down here. I'm probably gonna stop the recording now.